Have you ever heard about a country in the sea? A place with its own flag, passport, money, and even a royal family? It's not a joke. It's real. Welcome to the Principality of Sealand. Sealand is one of the strangest places in the world. It is not a normal country with land, mountains, or cities. It is a small platform in the North Sea, near the coast of England. The platform was built by the British Army during World War II. At that time, it was used to defend the United Kingdom from German attacks. After the war, the British Army left the platform. It stood empty for many years. But in 1967, a man named Paddy Roy Bates took control of the platform. He said, "This is now a country. I call it the Principality of Sealand." He gave it a flag, a new name, and even made himself Prince Roy. The platform is not big. It has two tall towers connected by a flat metal bridge. There are no houses, no roads, and no shops. Only strong wind, open sea, and metal walls. The UK did not like what Roy did. They said, "This is our sea, you can't start a country here." But Roy didn't stop. He said that Sealand is outside of UK waters, so it's not under British law. One day, British police came by boat. They wanted to stop Roy. But his son, Michael Bates, fired warning shots with a gun. The police left. After that, no one tried to remove them again. In 1968, Roy went to a UK court. The court said, "We have no power over this platform because it is outside UK waters." That was a big win for Sealand. Since then, the Bates family has ruled Sealand like a real country. Today, Sealand still exists. It is not part of the UK, but most countries do not recognize it as a real country either. Still, it has its own website, sells passports, and even gives royal titles like Lord or Lady. But is it really a country? Or just a metal fort in the sea? That's the mystery of Sealand. Today, Sealand is still standing in the sea. The Bates family still says it is a real country. They take care of the platform and try to keep the story of Sealand alive. Prince Roy died in 2012. Now his son, Prince Michael Bates, is the head of Sealand. He says he will protect Sealand forever. Even though the platform is small and cold, he believes in its freedom and independence. But how can such a small place survive? Sealand is not rich. It has no oil, no gold, and no farms. It does not have shops or factories. There are no people living there all the time. So, how do they make money? They sell things on the internet. On Sealand's website, you can buy a Sealand passport, flag, t-shirt, or even become a lord or lady of Sealand. Many people think it's funny or cool to have a royal title from a place in the sea. You can even buy land in Sealand, but only in a symbolic way. You don't really live there. It's more like a gift or a souvenir. Sometimes, tourists want to visit, but it's not easy. You need a boat or a helicopter. There is no airport or port. It's very windy and cold, and the sea is not always safe. That's why only a few people visit each year. Sealand also rents its name for online services. Some companies use the Sealand name to offer secure internet hosting. They said, "Our servers are outside any country's control." It was like digital freedom, but that idea did not last very long. Still, Sealand stays in the news from time to time. People like strange stories, and Sealand is a very strange place. Even though it's small and not recognized by the world, Sealand has fans from all over. Some people think it's a symbol of freedom, a place that says, "We don't need to be big to be free." But others say, it's just a joke, a sea platform with a flag. So what do you think? Is Sealand just a metal fort, or something more? In 1978, something crazy happened in Sealand. It was almost like a movie. A group of men came by boat and took over the platform. Yes, they attacked Sealand. At that time, Prince Roy Bates was not on Sealand. He was away in England. The men who came were business partners who once worked with Roy. They wanted to turn Sealand into a luxury hotel and casino in the sea. Roy had said no. So they decided to take Sealand for themselves. The group came from Germany and the Netherlands. They arrived with boats and weapons. Michael Bates, Roy's son, was on Sealand when the men arrived. They took him hostage and locked him in a room. They raised a new flag and said, "This is now ours." It was a real pirate takeover. But they made a big mistake. They didn't know who they were dealing with. Roy Bates heard the news and was furious. He quickly made a plan. He took a helicopter and flew back to Sealand with a small group of loyal friends. They landed on the platform like in an action film. Roy and his team fought the invaders and took back control. They caught the leader, a German man named Alexander Achenbach. Roy said he broke Sealand's laws and called him a prisoner of war. Yes, Roy Bates acted like a real-world king. Germany didn't like that. They sent a diplomat from their embassy in London to talk to Roy and get their man back. But Roy said, "This is my country. I make the rules." Finally, after long talks, Roy agreed to let the man go. But he said something interesting. "Germany just sent an official to speak with Sealand. That means they recognize us as a real country." Of course, Germany said that wasn't true, but Roy used it to tell the world, "Sealand is real." The attack made Sealand famous. Newspapers wrote about it. People were shocked. How could such a small place have its own war? But it happened, and from that day, more people started learning about Sealand. The Bates family saw the attack as proof that they were serious, that Sealand was something more than just a sea fort. They had defended it, just like a real country does. Even today, Sealand's website talks about the attack. It's part of their history and their pride. A tiny country, fighting back and winning. So, now the big question, is Sealand really a country? The answer is not simple. Sealand has many things a country usually has. It has a flag, a national anthem, a motto, passports, and even royal titles like Prince and Princess. It has its own website and sells its own stamps and money. It also has a history, a leader, and even once defended its land with force. But the truth is, no country in the world officially recognizes Sealand. Not the United Nations, not the European Union, not even small island states. In international law, Sealand is not a real country. It is just an old military platform in the sea. Still, that does not stop people from believing in it. Thousands of people have bought Sealand passports or titles. They like the idea, a place of freedom, a place that says, "We don't care what big countries think. We are our own nation." Sealand's owners have made a kind of brand out of this idea. It's half joke, half protest. Some people love it, others think it's silly. But one thing is clear. Sealand has become a symbol of independent thinking. It's a reminder that even a small idea on a small piece of metal in the sea can become something big in people's minds. In 2007, there was even a fire on the platform. People thought Sealand might be gone, but the Bates family repaired it and continued to fight for their dream. Today, Sealand is still standing. Rusty, cold, and small, but alive. Sometimes it is empty. Sometimes the Bates family visits. Sometimes journalists come, but the flag still flies. Will it ever be a real country in the eyes of the world? Probably not, but maybe that doesn't matter. Sealand teaches us something important. A country is not only about land or size. It can also be about belief, identity, and story. Sealand's story may not be in geography books, but it is in hearts and minds. So what do you think? Can a country exist on an old sea fort? Or is Sealand just a strange dream? Leave your opinion in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more videos like this one about secret places, lost countries, and